Hello everyone, I am Krista McNamara, Managing Editor of ABRN Magazine. As profit margins continue to get tighter and technician time becomes ever more valuable in today's market, the need to really operate your shop as efficiently as possible goes hand in hand with your shop success. So to give you a little help in this arena is a new software system called MSO Pro. It was recently launched by AudaExplore, which is a data solutions provider for the collision repair market. MSO Pro is a cloud-based shop management system for MSOs. So here with me today is Gordon Henderson. He's Vice President of Collision Repair Solutions with AudaExplore. He's going to talk with me today a little bit about the system and the benefits it can offer to its users. So Gordon, the MSO Pro system touts improving productivity through three areas: predictability, scalability, and efficiency. Can you tell us a little bit more about how the system can benefit shops in each one of these areas?
Absolutely, and thanks for having me on, Krista. MSO Pro is a solution that we just launched. It is a laser-focused solution on improving the operations of multiple shop operators. And MSOs have unique challenges. Number one, they're geographically diverse, which means that their staff and equipment and resources are spread apart, spread out. They're not under one roof like they are with a single shop operator. So they have unique challenges that the average single shop doesn't really have around operational controls and trying to get predictability in their operations. So MSO Pro is actually a solution that we purchased from an MSO, and it was born in an MSO environment. So we like to say it was built by an MSO for MSOs, and that's what makes it, I think, a little bit unique. So it's got a lot of operational controls designed that are basically designed to reduce the variability in the process and increase the predictability of positive outcomes that MSOs are trying to seek. So to give you a couple of examples, everybody wants a robust scheduling solution, and so with the next available date as part of the function of MSO Pro, we have a very unique ability to determine that date based upon a very complex algorithm that kind of runs behind the scenes. And part of the key to that is, number one, it learns the skill sets of the technicians. So it doesn't just look at the work that's in progress and the work that's scheduled to come in. It actually learns how well technicians are able to convert labor hours on an estimate into finished work, and it includes that in the secret sauce in determining the availability date that they can take the next car in. So it takes that existing book of business and the schedule of work coming in based upon the technician's capabilities, and daily it recalculates where are we at today and where are we at in the next 5 days. So it's always looking and continuously recalculating based on the workflow that's going through the shop. So that's one area. Another area about predictability is we look at revenue potential and forecasting. Most systems base that on booked revenue or on the scheduled work, the scheduled out date for the work that they have in process. MSO Pro takes that just a little bit further. It takes those things into account, but again, it takes into account the skill set of the technicians and says of that assigned work, based upon their past history, when are they expected to complete the work, and then the scheduled work, when will that be completed? So it kind of takes it to the next level. And MSO Pro also allows you to take technicians and reassign them to shops. You can do level loading with incoming work, but you can also level load based on technicians. And that technician history and everything we've learned about the technician transfers from shop A to shop B when you move them. And so we have other tools like vacation scheduling for technicians. So we can plan and do their vacation planning and scheduling. All the next date or the next availability date is all based on all of these factors, and it wraps them into this kind of secret sauce in determining predictable outcomes. So that's predictability. So next we talk about, I think you asked about scalability. There's no secret that MSOs are expanding rapidly. They're growing very fast in our industry. We see that trend continuing. Today, over 30% of DRP volume is actually going through MSOs. We see that continuously going up. We don't see that changing anytime soon. So in terms of scalability, MSO Pro is a hosted solution, which means as our clients grow and they add locations, they don't have to add local IT resources in order to scale with it. MSO Pro as a cloud-based hosted solution can scale with them automatically. Also, the architecture of the system is set up such that the workflows and the roles and the security of each location is all based on shop metadata, which means that we can change it as the shop grows. If the workflow changes, we can change it by changing the metadata and not having to recode anything and re-release anything. So that allows us to grow with them. So we talked about predictability, we talked about scalability. Now, if we talk about efficiency, which I think was the third thing you asked about, you know, I look at efficiency in an MSO operation is based on operational controls, right? They want to have the way things work at shop A, you can expect them to work at shop B. If you move the technician from A to B, everything's the same in terms of operational procedures. And MSO Pro is really kind of designed to be the framework that not just supports it, but actually is at the heart of MSO's operations. So we design these controls, again, by an MSO for MSOs to eliminate waste and prevent what we call leakage, you know, opportunities where money's kind of basically walking out the door. So a couple of examples. We provide a centralized estimate review process. So basically we allow a centralized resource to look at all of the estimates and say, you know, do the photos that were taken support the estimate? Is this a valid repair plan? Have the APU guidelines been met for this estimate? We also have what we call troubled areas within MSO Pro. So basically these are things that are kind of like red flags related to a repair order that if not corrected, we won't allow them to close the repair order. So it all builds into this operational process where, you know, essentially you can't make a mistake. That's the goal. It's not that mistakes will be made, but we want to have controls in place to prevent these so that we don't rely so much on memory and tribal knowledge of the technicians and the staff, but we're actually able to have the system control the process. Mm-hmm. Another great area is parts. So we look at, you know, MSO Pro allows for electronic ordering of parts, and with the behind the scenes we do line item costing. If we have part price increase, you know, that becomes the troubled area that has to be dealt with for that repair order before it can be closed. You know, our customers are telling us 8 to 9% of their parts ordered are returned, that they're the wrong parts. You know, we track all of this with aging and have reports to make sure that, that we're following up on that. You know, sometimes they get damaged parts from the supplier. You know, so we have, with one click, you can actually pay the technician to repair that part in order to still be able to use it, but also immediately create a credit memo back to the supplier all with one click. So these things kind of go on and on. Another area that we have is employee management. There's basically a whole HR module built into the system that allows you to track, you know, complete HR. It's the pay setup, it's the vacations, it's transfers between locations, it's teams assignments, it's write-ups and reviews and all that stuff. It's all in there. And then finally, as part of efficiency, we've added a Sales CRM module. So this basically is a complete module that allows you to manage your referral sources, such as agents and insurance clients. You can track the volume by the referral source, or you can even track the expenses that you are expending related to those referral sources. So, you know, the bagels and the donuts that you're buying for the insurance agents, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the system seems so intuitive to the needs of MSOs. Can you tell us a little bit about the development process? How did you decide, you know, what elements and functionalities were really vital for MSOs to run their business better?
So, you know, this is an MSO system built by an MSO for MSOs, and that's really our philosophy. We don't lock programmers into a room and say, okay, go create the next best thing. The product requirements for the solution all come from MSOs, right? So we have strategic partners that we're working with that are basically telling us, these are the features that we need, here's the roadmap for this product. It's not created in a vacuum, it's all dealt with strategic partners.
What about from a training and technical standpoint? What is the transition like there? What is available for customers when they switch over to the new system?
So training is really important in this case, right? The shop management and workflow management solution they have for MSO is at the heart of the operations. Like I said, with all these process controls, it doesn't just support the operating procedures, it enforces the operating procedures. So training is really important for a system like this. So, but our approach is really, what are the client needs? You know, we can do a variety of different things. A combination of, you know, we can do on-site training, we can do computer-based training with videos, we can do like an instructor-led virtual training. We'll enhance their operating procedures to include, you know, the MSO Pro. We can also do train the trainer, and so it really depends on what the client needs are. A lot of larger MSO operations, you know, they like to not leave necessarily training to outside resource, so they want to do their own training. So we'll do a train-the-trainer type program and support them that way. Maybe smaller ones would be a combination of some of those other items like computer-based training or on-site training. So it's all totally up to the user. But one thing that's really important about MSO Pro is the architecture is designed to really support training. So what I mean by that is it's role-based design says that for this particular function, they only need access to 3 or 4 screens and say 3 or 4 reports. So that's all that we give them. And that's all defined by the client. They can change it at any time. It doesn't require any code changes. It's all based on the client's metadata. So what that means is that it's a lot easier to learn because you don't have to learn everything all at once. You learn the pieces that are important to your function, master them, and then maybe as your role changes, you add other functions, and that's all doable with just a few mouse clicks.
Okay. What about its compatibility with other information systems that are out in the market today? So
MSO Pro is compatible with all the major estimating systems. Of course, it's got to work with all of those right out of the box, and it does. We're doing all kinds of additional data integrations through API development that allow us to connect. Our goal is to basically make it as easy as possible for the shops to communicate with their key partners. And so we're building all of those APIs now. Users that are audit text estimating users are going to have an enhanced integration experience, of course, because it is an AudaExplore product, but it works with all the major estimating systems.
Data accessibility and analysis, is really a hot button right now. Can have a huge impact on the success of MSOs. Can you tell us about some of the MSO Pro's reporting capabilities and features, and how it can really help MSOs take what can be a huge amount of data and really, break it down into usable and applicable, data points to help them improve their business?
Yeah, absolutely. So reporting is an essential function for any solution that a shop or an MSO especially is going to use. Mm-hmm. So at AudaExplore we don't build any products without considering the reporting up front, and this is no exception here. So with MSO Pro we have several different we'll call them canned or out-of-the-box reporting reports that are there's dozens of them. Again, with the role-based security, we can turn on certain reports for some users, turn them off for other users, so they're not overwhelmed, because frankly, reporting can be a little overwhelming. So we tailor them to that specific user's role. But in addition to those sort of pre-programmed reports, we have the ability to throw on a data cube. So we can basically take the data warehouse, and the MSO user, the client, and especially the more sophisticated ones, can basically take our data dictionary and build whatever report they want. We don't presuppose to know, everything that they're going to ever need to report on in the future. So we've given the ability to customize it, to their heart's content, and then build whatever report they need. So to us, that gives us the most flexibility in the long term.
Well, great, Gordon. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you talking with us more about MSO Pro and what it can really offer to the MSO environment. For more information on the system, you can visit AudaExplore online at www.audaexplore.com, or you can follow them on Twitter at AudaExplore_. So thanks and have a great day.
Thank you.